Welcome to this series of uh, interview with the netizens. In this series, we have with us Mr. Avinash Kapoor, Managing Director of Helvoet Rubber and Plastic Technologies Limited. He is our alumni from the PGDIE 16 batch. He has a vast experience in all domains of operations. Today, we request him to share his vast experience with us and to describe his journey post NITIE. Welcome, Mr. Kapoor.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share whatever I know a little bit with NITI and the current students, and I hope I'll give something of value to them. NITI was, of course, for us a very good experience. The course was, I must say, very well structured. We got a flavor of, apart from engineering subjects, we got a flavor of finance also, even stock markets, and we had very interesting courses. And then, of course, the usual industrial engineering subjects we did. We did operations management, production planning control, materials management. So it was a very good structured curriculum that we got a flavor of almost everything, and general management skills were built up. To top it, there were interesting, out of 1.5 years that we spent there, I think 6 months we spent in industry projects. There was one of, I think, 6 weeks after the third semester. And subsequently, last semester, 3 months was again in industry project, which helped us to gain first-hand knowledge about how things work in the real world. So I think NITI gave us a pretty good background to start with. And I was one of the few who wanted to stick to manufacturing, and I have probably done that till now. So that's how I started with Godrej and Boyce, and there I was looking after production planning, and then I spent quite some time in various companies in industrial product segments, primarily in production planning and manufacturing. And last, I think now more than 20 years, I've been in the automotive industry, primarily automotive component industry. Green, I was with Subros at Noida for a very long time. And there we started a new company where we set up 3 greenfield projects with state-of-the-art technologies. And we also built up export business. So that was a very enriching experience with a big capex outlay and very tight timeline. So developing new customers and developing totally new team. Of course, last after that, I've been with this company for the last 10 years, Helvoet. And here again, this was a running company, very old. This was the old Philips factory. So we have really transformed it now in terms of new equipments, new technologies. We transferred a lot of new technologies from Europe to India, very successfully productionized them, and we built up a very good export portfolio, which is almost 40% of our business. Of course, I've had a flavor of everything, a lot for manufacturing and supply chain, but also for finance, because now every month end is a P&L, okay, and every year is a balance sheet. And then all along during these stints, a lot of time has also been spent with vendor development. With even small vendors, I've been involved in transforming them and developing them into with not only technical things, but on the soft side, on people development and new manufacturing systems involving the latest techniques of quality management and man management.
Thank you, Mr. Kapoor. This is like huge. And thank you for sharing your rich experience. And next, the obvious question, therefore, is, how would you like to guide our current students as to, how they prepare for their corporate journey, especially during this pandemic times?
Okay. First thing I would like to tell the students that they have to be hands-on. Okay, uh, it is not that you can do everything sitting at your desk. Like they call it in Japanese, the concept is called gemba. Gemba is going to the site actually. So of course, I don't know whether all these things what I'm talking about may apply to IT companies or services and all. But in general, I would say that go there, do it. That is the first thing, be hands-on. Second thing is take care of your people. Firstly, always if you have to hire people, go for the best, what you can afford. Okay, based on your affordability, go for the best, and then develop them. Even if somebody is not up to the mark, develop them and take care of your team. That is very, very crucial. The way you take care of your team. Like in my present company, our attrition is so low that we've got people working here for 20, 30 years also. And even the youngsters who join as engineers and all, they also, most of them stick for quite a few years. It's become all the more important in the current situation that take care of your people, take care of your team, then be very flexible in your approach, in your strategy. The immediate strategies that we had to, in fact, fine tune a complete business plan for this year. We had made a business plan for a certain level of turnover, bottom line in beginning of the year. But March, when this happened, we had to work out various scenarios, including a scenario like we are completely closed for 4 or 5 months. Okay, and then how will you manage the cash flow? What is the cash flow? How you will manage the expenses? And based on that, we worked out various action plans. Okay, like major cost reduction technique. We went for a salary, instead of laying off people, we thought it's better to go for a salary reduction. Then we worked on how to, like we discussed with our property owners for rental reduction, and we got it for the next 6 months. They agreed to reduce the rent. So various approaches, inventory reduction. Majorly, we said, okay, we have got a certain level of inventory, and we will bring it down by so much. So various ways on the cost side, and maximizing our output from the existing assets that we had. So we have to be a little quite flexible, I must say, and adapt yourself as the things come. So you have to be flexible, you have to care for your people, and you have to be very fast. If something you decide to do, go ahead. Be quick to implement it.
Thank you, Mr. Kapoor. These were really insightful thoughts, practical ones, in fact, I would say. So, as we draw to a close to this session, I would request you to share some of your most cherished moments from your NITIE days.
Okay. The best moments in NITIE were, there are a lot of them. The best moments were the time spent in the common room in our hostel. Okay. And then we used to have a cinema club. We used to get movies from embassies and all and screen them in that. We had a auditorium, which is, I think, that was a small one, which in the old building. I don't know whether it is still. And then Dinovo was a very good festival we had. The Dinovo was the one which we had when a fresh new batch came. And after that, we had the cultural festival. Every year we had a cultural festival, which was also a good highlight. And of course, swimming at Vihar Lake was also one of the lovely things we did. In spite of the fear of the crocodiles, at least some of us used to go and swim in Vihar Lake.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Kapoor. This is really very enriching discussion that we had. I hope everyone is going to enjoy watching this. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.